What is going on, you guys? It is Ghiman Mckinney, your boy, or you can just call me Juice. That is my nickname. I appreciate all you guys for watching today. Be sure to smash this like button right now, as it does help this video get out to the public and the channel to grow. Subscribe to this channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. And turn on post notifications too, so you don't miss a single one of those videos that are posted, guys. This list needs to be done now because there's so many good young quarterbacks in the league. So I figured, why not do one of a list of the top 5 young quarterbacks, in my opinion, my humble opinion, in the 2019-20 season. Okay, so the top 5 young quarterbacks. I have 5 quarterbacks I'll throw at y'all. I'll rank them in order from last to first, and I'll also give you an honorable mention. These quarterbacks, the qualification for this list is you have to be 26 years old or younger. So all quarterbacks 26 years old or younger definitely qualify for this list. Now, pretty much my criteria was how good are you, how talented are you, what have you done in the playoffs, your stats, your situation that you've been brought into, the players you have around you, how well have you elevated those players. And really it just came down to pretty much, if I had to draft these players in order, what order would I put them in? So without further ado, let's get started, okay? Dak Prescott right now is my honorable mention. Yes, I think Dak Prescott is an honorable mention on this list, okay? The second most wins in the past 3 seasons, behind one Tom Brady. I'm a former Rookie of the Year, even though I do think that I would have given the Rookie of the Year to Ezekiel Elliott, okay? He has the highest completion percentage for a player in his first 3 seasons, okay? I love his intangibles. I think players love playing for Dak Prescott. He's a natural-born leader. He's done nothing but win ever since he's come into the National Football League. I do think he's a very underrated thrower of the football, okay? And he's won his division 2 of the past 3 seasons, okay? 2 of the past 3 seasons, Dak Prescott has won the NFC East, a very tough division, okay? Now, some may ask why Dak Prescott is not higher on this list. Well, I'll tell you why. He's just pretty much as good as the team is around him. And what I mean by that is if Dak Prescott is surrounded by some Pro Bowlers, he's going to play like a Pro Bowl type quarterback. But when he does not have the same support, when he does not have a great supporting cast, Dak Prescott is a 500 to below 500 quarterback, okay? And what I mean by that is before Amari Cooper came to Dallas, when the wide receivers were not as good for Dallas, when he still had Ezekiel Elliott, still had an elite defense, okay? When he still had those parts around him, a pretty good above average offensive line too, I might add, a pretty above average offensive line. Dak Prescott was not even a 500 quarterback this past season, okay? He threw 8 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions before Amari Cooper came to the team. Amari Cooper elevated Dak Prescott's play. And we saw in his sophomore season, without Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott was a 500 quarterback and not very good statistically, okay? He wasn't that good statistically, okay? But when Dak Prescott has those parts around him, he's pretty good. But he doesn't add anything to your team. Other than running the football, I do think he's a very underrated runner of the football. I don't think Dak Prescott adds anything extra to your football team. He doesn't elevate the football team around him. He does not elevate the troops around him, in my opinion. And also, guys, we have to take into account what Dak Prescott inherited. He inherited being on the Dallas Cowboys, who at the time, before Tony Romo got hurt, were a Super Bowl contender. Also, when Dak Prescott is asked to consistently push the ball down the field, his accuracy does dip. But again, he doesn't turn the football over that much. I like his intangibles. I think he's an accurate quarterback. I have him as an honorable mention on this list. At number 5, Jared Goff is up next, okay? The last 2 seasons, Jared Goff is balled, okay? Last 2 seasons, 60 touchdowns to 19 interceptions. And once he got the right head coach, okay, in Sean McVay, the guy went 11-5, 13-3, okay? And I don't think Jared Goff gets enough credit for how good he was in that NFC Championship game versus the New Orleans Saints. I get it. The Saints, they got robbed a little bit, okay? They had a call that did not go their way. It ultimately cost them a berth to the Super Bowl, okay? But one thing you have to realize is this. Jared Goff outplayed Drew Brees in that game. He outplayed Drew Brees, okay? He was better down the stretch than Drew Brees. He does not get enough credit for the tough, contested throws that he made in that game, for outplaying Drew Brees, a Hall of Fame quarterback, in the Superdome, on the road, in a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Jared Goff was better down the stretch than Drew Brees, a Hall of Fame quarterback. He doesn't get enough credit for that, okay? Now, I do think he is a little bit of a product of Sean McVay's system and scheme. He does have Todd Gurley. He does have a very good offensive line to play behind. So again, like I said, Jared Goff's putting up numbers. I do see talent, but again, let's be real. When you pressure Jared Goff, when Jared Goff's under pressure, when you blitz him a lot, the stats and statistics show Jared Goff's accuracy is not very good. He's not a very good quarterback when you pressure him. When he goes up against some very good defenses, he's not the same quarterback. when Cooper Kupp went down last year and was hurt. His numbers fell off a cliff. He wasn't very good, okay? Down the stretch, Jared Goff was not very good without Cooper Kupp. Without Todd Gurley, not a very good player, I don't think. If you didn't have Todd Gurley in that offensive line, I don't think Jared Goff's winning a whole lot of games. And let's be real. In the playoffs, Jared Goff, in 4 games, 54% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, and a 73.6 pass rating. It's not very good. It's not very good in the playoffs. And let's be real. In the Super Bowl, Jared Goff was terrible. I do believe if you put other better quarterbacks on the Rams right now, they would have won that Super Bowl, and they would have at least gotten to the Super Bowl. But Jared Goff's at number 5 for me. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield for me is at number 4. NFL record, 27 touchdown passes in his rookie season. You can clearly tell, even in his rookie season, that Baker Mayfield has that it factor about him. There's something about that guy, Baker Mayfield. I don't like his off the field antics, but again, on the field, when I watch him play, I can clearly see the talent. The guy is a natural, accurate thrower of the football. His downfield accuracy is very good. He has very good arm strength. He's accurate. He came right into Cleveland, a 0-16 football team the year before, and led them to 7 wins. Baker Mayfield definitely elevates the troops around him. You can tell that teammates love playing for Baker Mayfield. He elevates the teammates around him. And once Hugh Jackson was fired, his numbers went up big time. Once Freddie Kitchens was the offensive coach for the Cleveland Browns, once he was the head coach of the Browns, I should say, not offensive coach, but the head coach, yes. When Hugh Jackson went out of town, Baker Mayfield was putting up even more godly stats. But what does knock me down with Baker Mayfield a little bit, I think it's a little bit unfair, but again, I have to make this evaluation. Last year, even though he was a rookie, he did throw 14 interceptions. That's a lot. Okay, that's a lot of interceptions for the amount of games he played, okay? And again, he was 1-5 last year versus playoff teams, okay? When Baker Mayfield played the big dogs last year, he was a little bit overmatched. But again, he is a rookie. He is going to only get better. I do think with Odell Beckham Jr. now, with Jarvis Landry, with Nick Chubb, with all those great weapons he has, he will ball out this year. But again, I'm projecting. I have to go based on what we have seen so far, what we have seen right now, what the data points we have in front of us right now. And Baker Mayfield last year versus playoff teams, he had a 1-5 record last year versus playoff teams. Yes, 1-5 Baker Mayfield was versus playoff teams last year. His accuracy dipped. He struggled. He was overwhelmed at times. So again, if Baker Mayfield gives me another great solid year, I will move him up on this list. But again, for me, Baker Mayfield right now is at number 4. He's the 4th best young quarterback in the NFL today. At number 3, I got Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz to me is a very talented player. He's just a physically imposing player. Arm strength, ability to run the football, big guy, strong, tough as nails. If you can build a quarterback, Carson Wentz is a guy you want to build. He's the prototypical great quarterback in today's game, okay? Amazing arm strength, amazing talent, okay? Amazing athlete. In 2017, he was arguably the best player in football. Would have won the MVP had he not gotten injured. In 13 games, he was second in the league in touchdown passes in only 13 games played. Almost led the league in touchdown passes and missed 3 games. That's pretty crazy. Went 11-2 as a starter. In his second season only, turned the Philadelphia Eagles into a pretty decent borderline playoff team to a Super Bowl contender. Carson Wentz went out and balled his sophomore season. And even in this past season in football, I don't think Carson Wentz got enough credit for how good he was last year. He put up very good numbers. Last year, completed nearly 70% of his passes, 21 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, a 102 passer rating. That's very, very good. But let's be real. Carson Wentz, what have you done for me lately? As of late, you haven't really done anything. When you were on the field last year, you put up numbers, but you didn't win a lot of games. You have not won a lot of big games in your career. They also say the best ability is availability. And Carson Wentz, in the past 2 seasons, has had 2 major injuries and missed a lot of time. Now, when on the field, he's healthy. But when is he on the field? He's missed a lot of games. Now, again, do I think Carson Wentz would have won that Super Bowl if he got the opportunity instead of Nick Foles? Yes, I do. But again, I'm speaking on hypotheticals. We have not seen Carson Wentz in the playoffs. Show me the big games Carson Wentz has won. I haven't seen them. He didn't win very many big games last year. Last year, he choked in some games. He put up good numbers, but he didn't win a lot. So again, Carson Wentz for me, I also took into account his situation. He's playing with a very good offensive line, very good head coach in Doug Peterson, very good wide receivers, very good elite defense, very good elite stud pass rush. Philadelphia to me is the most talented team in all of football. He definitely can move up on this list if he does well and leads the Philadelphia Eagles to a great, amazing record, makes a deep playoff run. But for now, Carson Wentz is at number 3 for me. At number 2, I got Deshaun Watson of the Houston Texans as the second best young quarterback in football. Okay, right now. Okay, look, Deshaun Watson in his rookie year, before he got hurt, was on pace to throw 43 touchdowns in his rookie season. That also does not take into account the rushing stats that he had accumulated in his rookie season. That doesn't take into account the rushing touchdowns he had. The guy is a legit dual threat quarterback, one of the best athletes at the quarterback position, probably the best athlete at the quarterback position behind one Cam Newton. I mean, the guy's a special talent, okay? You can clearly see he's a football player. And I don't think Deshaun Watson gets enough credit for how underrated of a downfield accurate passer he is. He has very good downfield accuracy. He has a very underrated arm. He has underrated arm strength, okay? In his rookie season, like I said, on pace to throw 43 touchdown passes as a rookie, not even counting the rushing stats. That's a better pace than what Baker Mayfield was on. That's a better pace than what, Dak Prescott was on. That's a better pace than what Jared Goff was on and Carson Wentz in the rookie seasons. Deshaun Watson, when he came into the league, was a better player than those guys his rookie season, okay? He is excellent when the play breaks down of making something happen. He's an excellent improviser. He's a great off-schedule quarterback. This year, behind the worst, and I mean by a mile, the worst offensive line in football, an offensive line that allows 62 sacks. Okay, look, real quick, before I get to my next point, I want to put this in context. Deshaun Watson's a mobile guy, okay? Now, again, I will admit, at times he does hold on to the football a little bit too much, but you gotta admit, we gotta keep it a spade a spade. Deshaun Watson also avoided a lot of sacks last year. He was sacked 62 times, and he's a mobile quarterback. He's not a Tom Brady. He's not a Philip Rivers. He's not one of those guys that's a standstill quarterback that just sits in the pocket all day. He can move around, and he was sacked 62 times. That's the most sacks allowed in over a decade. That offensive line for the Texans is porous and awful. What did he do behind that bad offensive line? Put those godly stats in his rookie season. Balled out this year. Led the Texans to the division title. Led them to an 11-5 record. Put up great stats. A 68% completion percentage behind a terrible offensive line. Over 4,000 yards. A 103.1 passer rating. Like I said, led the Texans to the playoffs. He did some very good things. I understand he has DeAndre Hopkins, a very good wide receiver. I get it. But who's his tight end? He has no tight end. Who's his number 2 and 3 wide receiver? Coutee? Will Fuller? Will Fuller can't stay healthy to save his life, guys. Pretty much an absent running game at times. Lamar Miller is a washed-up running back to me. In an organization that does not have a GM right now. Yes, you heard it here. The Texans do not have a GM right now. They do not have a GM. They have an intern at GM right now. They don't have a GM. This franchise is inept. I fear that Bill O'Brien and this organization will not surround Deshaun Watson with the right parts, but for now, I think Deshaun Watson is fair to put him at number 2. I understand he was terrible in that playoff game versus the Colts. I will wholeheartedly admit that. But again, you can look at a ton of other prime examples. There have been other Hall of Fame quarterbacks that have had bad first playoff games. Give Deshaun Watson a pass this year. He's a very good player. He's at number 2 for me. At number 1, the obvious choice is Patrick Mahomes. The guy threw 50 touchdown passes in his first season of starting, okay? Was the MVP of the league in his first season starting. 5,000 yards. First season starting, okay? He arguably has the strongest arm in the NFL. Cam Newton, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen. Those are players that can challenge that title for strongest arm in the NFL to me. But for my money, it is Pat Mahomes. That is the strongest arm in the NFL. The guy, what surprised me with how good Patrick Mahomes was this past year was not just the 50 touchdown passes, but his accuracy. I was surprised about how accurate he was this past year. In college, he struggled with accuracy. He struggled with turnovers. This year, he completed over 66% of his passes. And this is with him throwing the ball consistently down the field. He's not a dink and dunk quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is consistently pushing the ball down the field. He completes over 66% of his passes doing that, consistently throwing bombs down the field, okay? And like I said, guys, I get it. Andy Reid, he does make quarterbacks better. I get it. He made Alex Smith look like an MVP candidate. He made Donovan McNabb potentially be a Hall of Fame quarterback. I get it. But no one that Andy Reid has ever had that he's been able to work with has thrown 50 touchdown passes in a season, let alone their first full season. This guy, Mahomes, is the most talented quarterback I've ever seen behind Aaron Rodgers, okay? I think if he stays healthy, he has the chance to break pretty much every NFL passing record and be a top 10 quarterback of all time. And let's not forget, guys, this Chiefs defense was god-awful. This Chiefs defense was terrible. They were one of the bottom 5 worst defenses in all football. That secondary was awful. And he took them within one game, guys, one game, about 1 or 2 plays of the Super Bowl. If D Ford does not go off sides, okay, the Chiefs are in that Super Bowl. You know, if Andy Reid and this defense can somehow get off the field, just give Patrick Mahomes a little bit more help, they're in the Super Bowl, and they would have won the Super Bowl. Because the way the Rams looked in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs would have beaten them. Okay, you saw the Rams in that Super Bowl. They didn't look very good. The Chiefs were better. The Chiefs would have beaten the Rams in the Super Bowl if they got there. So he led one of the worst defenses in all of football to 12 wins in one game within the Super Bowl this year, okay? Let's also not forget, guys, the Chiefs the year before Patrick Mahomes got there were a borderline playoff team. They got bounced in the first round. He took them to within one game of the Super Bowl in his first season starting. Patrick Mahomes is the clear-cut choice at number 1. So there you have it, you know. Dak Prescott, honorable mention. Jared Goff at number 5. Baker Mayfield at number 4, Carson Wentz at number 3, Deshaun Watson at number 2, and Patrick Mahomes at number 1. Be sure to comment where you agree with me, where you disagree with me, who's missing from this list, who is too high, who is too low. Give me all your thoughts. I love to hear them in the comment section, you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. A fun fact about me is I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world. I want to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. Kind of like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. You get the point. Okay, I want to do sports, television, and radio for a full living once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. So the best thing you guys can do to just help me continue to grow as a young broadcaster is to just share this channel with all your friends, because potentially if this channel really gets somewhere, I want to start my own network, okay? You know, or potentially if it doesn't, you know, or if I fall a little bit short, I want to go into a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. So the best thing you guys can do to just flat out just help me grow as a broadcaster, help me learn, you know, get other people hip to this channel, you know, just share this channel with all your friends. Share this channel on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. And once again, guys, just share this channel with everyone you know. Get everyone hipped and watching these videos. Get my voice out there and heard. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. It's been your boy Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in today. I really do. Have a God blessed day. Stay motivated, you guys, and I'm out.